Honor and pride in relationships. Lessons from the samurai. Today, we're going to dive into the most important aspects that are often overshadowed in the realm of relationships: honor, pride, and self-respect. In our modern world, there is too much talk about how to become the perfect partner, how to please others. But let's be honest, if a man forgets about his honor and pride, he is easily used and discarded like an unnecessary object. The samurai, who defended their honor and dignity for centuries, left us important lessons that will help us maintain our inner strength and self-value in any circumstance. So how do you build healthy relationships while remaining a real man? This is a question that concerns many people, and in our issue we will answer it based on the wisdom of the samurai. You'll learn the importance of honor in relationships, how it helps you resist manipulation, how pride affects your self-esteem, and how to maintain your identity without adjusting to other people's expectations. We'll discuss how being true to your principles is the key to a strong relationship, and why testing your partner for strength is not only normal, but necessary. Prepare yourself for a journey into the world of the samurai, where each lesson is filled with depth and wisdom that can change the way you look at relationships. Let's get started. Honor in relationships, a defense against manipulation. Honor is one of those concepts that seems outdated in today's world. However, it is honor that is the foundation of a healthy and respectful relationship. It is important to understand that in relationships between people, especially between a man and a woman, honor acts as a defense mechanism that helps to avoid manipulation and unhappiness. When we talk about honor in relationships, we mean having clear boundaries, resilience, and respect for both self and partner. Honor as the foundation of boundaries. The first step to protecting yourself in a relationship is to be aware of your boundaries. Honor involves having an internal code that you set for yourself. These boundaries should not be blurred, they should be clearly defined. For example, if it is unacceptable to you for your partner to criticize you in public, that is your boundary. Honor requires you to uphold those boundaries. When you allow someone to cross your boundaries, you will begin to lose your dignity. This can lead to manipulation. If your partner knows that you will not give up something that is important to you, they may begin to use it to their advantage. In this way, honor becomes your shield that protects you from this kind of behavior. Don't let manipulation determine your actions. People who are skilled at manipulation use your feelings against you. This can be through deception, tricks, or even emotions such as guilt. For example, if your partner says, "If you love me, you will do this," they are trying to use your affection to get you to do something you are uncomfortable with or don't want to do. Honor requires you to be firm. It does not mean that you have to be cruel or ruthless. It is about being confident in your decisions. Respect yourself and your feelings. If something feels wrong, don't let anyone make you feel guilty. Instead, rely on your inner principles. Know that your right to say no is part of your honor. Honesty and straightforwardness as the key to a healthy relationship. Straightforwardness in communication is an important aspect of honor. If you can't talk openly about your feelings and needs, it can lead to misunderstandings and manipulation. Be honest with your partner, even if it may cause tension. For example, if you're uncomfortable with the way your partner behaves in a certain situation, communicate this. Honest communication is the foundation of trust, and trust is the most important element of any relationship. If your partner truly cares about you, they will understand and accept your feelings. If he or she tries to manipulate you, however, that's a wake-up call that your relationship is built on the wrong principles. Defending your honor in such situations will help you not only to keep respect for yourself, but also to avoid further manipulation. Respect as the basis of honor. Honor in a relationship cannot exist without mutual respect. Respect for your partner and for yourself is what avoids manipulation. If you value yourself, You will find it easier to assert your boundaries and refuse a request you don't like. Respecting the other person is also important. This means you shouldn't try to control their actions or emotions. When you are respectful, your boundaries become an integral part of your relationship. Not only are you protecting yourself from manipulation, but you are also showing your partner how to behave. This creates a healthy dynamic where both people can be open and honest. Practice self-awareness. Honor also requires constant self-awareness. Ask yourself the questions: what is important to me? What boundaries am I willing to set? How do I want to be honored? The constant practice of self-awareness will not only help you understand what is truly important to you, but also help you avoid the manipulation that can occur when you lose focus on your values. Self-awareness also helps you develop self-confidence. When you know that your honor and principles come first, you will be less susceptible to manipulation. You will more easily assert your boundaries and be less likely to fall for the tricks of others. Defending your honor in conflict situations. Every couple has conflicts. It's important to remember that in these situations you need to preserve your honor. Don't let your emotions take over. Instead, focus on the facts and your principles. If your partner starts to resort to manipulation, do not let him or her do it. Respond calmly and confidently. When a conflict arises, ask yourself, how does this situation fit with my values? If you feel you are being manipulated, assert your boundaries. Remind yourself that your honor is more important than a momentary agreement. The influence of your environment on your honor. Finally, it's important to remember that your environment also affects your honor. If you associate with people who disregard their own principles, it can affect you as well. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries and principles. They will inspire you and also help you maintain your honor in relationships. By studying the behavior of successful people, you can learn lessons that will help you strengthen your own honor. A person who respects himself will not allow himself to be manipulated by anyone. He will stand up for his boundaries and demands, creating healthy and strong relationships. Pride. Respect yourself, or no one will respect you. Pride is one of those concepts that is often misunderstood. In society, we hear a lot about narcissism and selfishness, which are sometimes perceived as pride. However, true pride is nothing but realizing your worth and respecting yourself. It builds your inner strength and confidence, allowing you to stand your ground when it really matters. Without respect for yourself, it's hard to expect anyone else to respect you. Men who lose their pride for the approval of others often find themselves trapped in manipulation and emotional abuse. They fall victim to relationships where their feelings and desires are ignored. If you do not respect yourself, if you do not value your qualities and achievements, people around you will feel it and will not take you seriously. Pride helps protect you from those who try to manipulate or humiliate you. It creates an aura of strength around you that attracts respect. When you realize your worth, you begin to set boundaries. These boundaries are not just rules, they are your defense against those who would try to break them. To realize that you are worthy of respect is to accept your uniqueness and individuality. If you don't know who you are and what you represent, how can others know? Self-respect begins with inner work, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, your desires and aspirations. By doing this work, you become self-confident and open the way for respect from others. In relationships, pride manifests itself in the ability to say no when necessary. Many men are afraid to say no for fear of losing their partner or causing conflict. But true strength lies in the ability to stand up for what you believe in. If you give in just because you're afraid of being alone, you've already lost. Real relationships are built on mutual respect, and if someone doesn't respect your boundaries, it's a sign that you're not on the same path. The next important aspect of pride is the ability to recognize your achievements. Often men tend to underestimate their successes, putting them on the back burner. But if you don't celebrate your victories, how can others notice them? Taking pride in your achievements builds confidence and serves as a source of motivation. Every success, no matter how small, is a step forward worth celebrating. If you learn to appreciate your accomplishments, you will become an example to those around you. Pride also includes taking responsibility for your actions. A real man understands that his actions have consequences, and he is not afraid to admit his mistakes. This is not a weakness, but a strength. Being able to admit your blunders is a step towards personal growth. It shows that you are willing to change and learn from your mistakes, which in turn earns you the respect of others. Don't forget the importance of self-respect in the context of social relationships. If you show respect for yourself, others will be more inclined to respect you as well. This creates a cycle of respect where everyone involved gets their fair share. Self-respect helps in building harmonious relationships where each partner understands their boundaries and values the other's personal space. Pride also protects against toxic relationships. If you don't respect yourself, you will tolerate behavior that is unacceptable. Toxic relationships can undermine your self-esteem and destroy your identity. However, if you're proud of yourself, you'll be able to say, "Stop," and free yourself from negative influences. This doesn't mean you have to be ruthless or selfish. Respecting yourself doesn't preclude respecting others, but it puts you first, allowing you to build healthy boundaries. Pride also helps you attract the right people into your life. People feel energy and confidence. If you respect yourself, it attracts people who also value themselves. This creates a healthy and supportive environment where everyone can develop and grow. You become a magnet for positive and supportive relationships. In conclusion, pride is not just an empty word, it is the foundation of your inner world. Respect yourself, and then the world will respect you. Realizing your worth, setting boundaries, and recognizing your achievements are all key aspects of true pride. Be someone who is not afraid to stand up for what you believe in, and you will see your life change. Remember that true pride is not selfishness, but your personal armor in this complex world. If you learn to respect yourself, your life will be brighter and your relationships will be stronger. Self-esteem and its role in pride. Self-esteem is the realization of one's worth as a person. It is shaped by our principles, experiences, and the inner voice that tells us we are worthy of respect and love. Without self-esteem, pride can become an empty word and even a source of negative consequences. If you don't value yourself, those around you won't respect you, and this can lead to insecurity and suffering. A man who does not know his worth will be willing to compromise his principles for the approval of others. This can happen in different areas of life, in relationships, at work, and in friendships. If you feel like you can't say no for fear of losing someone, it's a worrying sign. Self-respect is the foundation on which pride is built, and without it you will lose your ability to stand up for yourself. Pride as a weapon against manipulation. Pride helps us resist manipulation. When you know who you are and what is important to you, you become an impregnable wall to those who try to use you. This doesn't mean you have to be cruel or ruthless, but you have to learn to say no and assert your boundaries. Samurai were masters at this, and their ability to defend themselves and their loved ones made them truly strong. In relationships, pride should not be seen as selfishness. It's about recognizing your place and right to be respected. If your partner can't accept your boundaries, then they're not ready for a healthy relationship. When you respect yourself, you demand that same respect from those around you. It is important to remember that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and support, not on sacrificing one for the other. How to develop pride and self-esteem. 1. Define your values. Having a clear understanding of your values and principles is the first step to developing pride. Know what is important to you and don't be afraid to talk about it. 2. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Respect for yourself begins with accepting your flaws and peculiarities. Admit that you're not perfect, but that doesn't diminish your value. 3. Learn to say no. Knowing how to say no is a demonstration of strength and confidence. If you know something is not in line with your principles, don't be afraid to express it. 4. Surround yourself with support. Socialize with those who value and respect you. These relationships will help build your self-esteem and pride. 5. Work on yourself. Constant self-improvement helps build self-confidence. Exercise, learn new things, develop your skills. It all makes you stronger. Lessons from the samurai. Staying true to your principles and testing your partner hard. Samurai were not only warriors, but also philosophers who followed their code of honor known as Bushido. This code not only guided their behavior on the battlefield, but also served as a basis for building relationships with others. Being true to your principles and being able to test your partner's mettle are key lessons that can help today's men build strong and healthy relationships. Being true to your principles. Every samurai knew that his strength lies in his principles. Being true to your beliefs means not succumbing to the pressures of others and staying true to yourself, even when it's hard. The principles you follow shape your personality and help you figure out what's really important to you. When it comes to relationships, this loyalty becomes especially important. If you're willing to sacrifice your principles for someone else, you risk losing not only yourself, but also your partner's respect. True strength lies in staying true to your beliefs, even when it may lead to conflict. The samurai understood that betraying your principles is betraying yourself. If you stop honoring your values for the sake of a relationship, it could be the first step to ruining it. To avoid this, it's important to remember that true happiness and harmony in a relationship is built on mutual respect and support. Tough test your partner. Hard testing your partner is not only an important aspect of defending your principles, but also a way of revealing the other person's true intentions. Samurai knew that loyalty doesn't have to be blind. To know if your partner is trustworthy, you need to observe their behavior and actions. If your partner respects your principles, he or she will be willing to accept them rather than try to change them. It is important to remember that respect is not just words, it is action. Mutual checks in a relationship can be difficult, but they are necessary to reveal a person's true nature. If a partner is not ready to accept your boundaries and principles, it is a signal that it is worth rethinking that relationship. Samurai, following their code, always looked for respect and honesty in their relationships. They knew that only someone who was willing to work on themselves and keep up with their partner would be able to build a strong and healthy relationship. If either of you is trying to subjugate the other, it will not be a healthy relationship, but rather a form of manipulation. How to apply these lessons to modern relationships? 1. Evaluate your principles. First of all, be clear about what values are important to you. This will help you not lose yourself in a relationship and keep your inner strength. 2. Don't be afraid to ask questions. When you first start dating, it's important to discuss your outlook on life, relationships, and future goals. This will help you understand how compatible you are. Third, act on principles. Be willing to stand up for your beliefs, even if it causes tension. Don't let anyone violate your boundaries. 4. Observe your partner's behavior. Does he or she respect your values? Does he/she participate in maintaining healthy boundaries? These are important aspects that will help you know if the relationship is worth continuing. 5. Work on yourself and the relationship. Constantly develop your skills, work on your mistakes, and strive to grow. This will make you both stronger and help you build a strong relationship. How samurai built harmonious relationships, freedom, and mutual respect. Samurai knew how to maintain their independence and inner strength even in relationships. They understood each warrior is an individual with his own path. Therefore, they built relationships on respect for each other and their mission. In a modern relationship, This means that you and your partner are two strong people who don't try to remake each other. A woman who tries to change you is not respecting your core. The samurai way teaches that only a man who respects his partner's freedom can expect real respect in return. If you respect your life, your time, and your goals, you create an environment where you have a strong woman by your side, ready to support you, not remake you. Motivation for men. Being strong means not being afraid of loneliness. In today's world, loneliness is often perceived as weakness. Many men are afraid to be alone with themselves, fearing that it will be a sign of failure or lack of social relevance. However, true strength lies in the ability to accept loneliness as part of your life and see it as an opportunity for growth. Loneliness is not an enemy, but an ally that can teach us important life lessons. First of all, loneliness gives us the opportunity to redefine ourselves. When you are alone with yourself, you have a chance to analyze your thoughts and feelings, to identify your strengths and weaknesses. In this process, you can realize what you really need in life, what goals are important, and how you can achieve them. This self-reflective approach allows you to understand yourself better and therefore become more confident and motivated. The power of solitude also lies in freedom. When you are not dependent on the opinions of others, you can make decisions based on your wants and needs. You become the architect of your life, creating it according to your own rules. This freedom allows you to make mistakes and learn from them without fear of judgment. If you can enjoy your company, you will learn to appreciate moments of solitude, which will be a huge step towards self-improvement. Another aspect to consider is independence. Being strong means not being afraid to be alone, but also not being dependent on others. When you become independent, not only are you better able to cope with challenges, but you also gain the ability to make decisions and take action on your own. This creates inner strength, which in turn makes you attractive to others. People are drawn to those who are not afraid to go their own way and who are able to accept the challenges of fate. Don't forget that being single is also a great opportunity for personal growth and development. You can devote time to learning new skills, playing sports, reading books, or developing a hobby. These activities enrich your life and make you a more interesting person. By surrounding yourself with new knowledge and hobbies, you become more confident and can talk about your experiences with pride. This quality is sure to attract people who appreciate your personality and drive to develop. An important aspect of being single is that it allows you to sort out your relationships. When you are in the company of other people, it is sometimes difficult to see who is really important in your life. Being alone gives you time to realize which of your friends and family are genuine and which may only be temporary acquaintances. This process of realization will help you get rid of toxic relationships and surround yourself with those who truly support and inspire you. Moreover, being alone teaches us to appreciate ourselves and our achievements. When you are alone, you have the opportunity to see your successes and realize how far you have come. This realization gives you confidence and makes you feel strong. You learn to accept yourself for who you are and realize that your worth does not depend on the opinions of others. This in turn builds a healthy self-image, which becomes the foundation for any relationship. Finally, being alone can be a real school for building inner resilience. Life is full of challenges, and being able to stay strong when you're alone helps you prepare for difficult periods. You learn to find support within yourself and deal with negative emotions. This quality is very important because life can throw us unexpected situations, and the ability to deal with them is key. In conclusion, loneliness is not something scary or shameful. On the contrary, it is an opportunity for growth, self-improvement, and gaining inner strength. Being strong means not being afraid to be alone, but also using this time skillfully for self-reflection, development, and evaluation of your relationships. Loneliness can be your best friend if you learn to appreciate it and use it for good. And remember, true strength is the ability to be confident in yourself and your worth, regardless of those around you. Honor and pride are not just buzzwords, they are principles that protect you from loss and mistakes. Be honest with yourself, keep your pride, and don't let anyone take advantage of you. This is the only way to live a life of dignity and have relationships where you are respected. Subscribe to our channel. Are you ready to become the best version of yourself? On our channel, we share samurai techniques and lessons that will help you develop your charisma, confidence, and inner strength. If you're looking for real self-development tools and striving for personal growth, you'll find exactly what you need here.